Jalen had never planned to buy a planet. He only wanted a cheap toolkit from the galactic market. But the auction booth beside it was loud and bright, and a tall blue alien kept shouting the same words over and over again, words that made the crowd laugh. Dead planet for sale. No life, no water, no owner. Starting bid 25 cents. Most people walked past the booth quickly. Some giggled, some shook their heads. But Jalen stopped. 25 cents for an entire planet? Even if it was empty, it was still a planet. He checked the hollow screen hanging above the booth and saw the name, Vorn 6. No population, no resources, no visitors, and a long list of previous owners, more than 20 names, each marked with a single strange note. Status disappeared. Jalen frowned. All of them? Really? The booth owner shrugged. They bought it. They vanished. Their ships vanished. Their accounts froze. Maybe they ran. Maybe something else happened. Who knows? Anyway, nobody wants it now. You want it or not human. The crowd laughed again. Some whispered things like, humans will buy anything, and he's going to waste a quarter. But Jalen didn't care about the jokes. Something about the planet interested him. Maybe it was the strange list of vanished owners. Maybe it was the way the name Vorn 6 almost felt familiar, though he had never heard it before. Or maybe he simply liked mysteries. He reached into his pocket and placed a single coin on the counter. I'll take it. The booth owner blinked. Really? Yes, Jalen said calmly. He signed the papers, and the planet was his. Just like that. No ceremony, no warning, no explanation. When he walked away, a few aliens stared at him as if he had lost his mind. But Jalen only smiled. He didn't want treasure or fame. He just wanted to understand why a planet was so cheap and why every previous owner vanished. 2 days later, he sat in his small ship, watching the star map show his travel path toward Vorn 6. The ship was old, and the engine groaned every few minutes. The windows were scratched, and the seats were worn. But Jalen loved it. It felt like a friend that never judged him. When he reached orbit, the planet came into view. It was dark gray with patches of red soil, and the atmosphere looked thin. No oceans, no forests, no storms. It was as still as a stone. Jalen whispered, "What happened to you?" He landed near a rocky plain. The sky was dark, almost purple, and the air felt heavy. His boots made soft, crunching sounds on the ground. There were no signs of buildings or life, just emptiness. But his scanner beeped every few minutes, picking up faint energy readings on the surface. Not above, not around. Below, Jalen knelt and pressed his hand to the cold ground. Something hummed. It was faint, like a slow heartbeat deep inside the planet. "That's strange," he murmured. "You're not dead, not completely." He walked farther, following the weak signals. The wind moved dust across the ground in small waves. The sky stayed quiet and empty. Everything felt abandoned but not forgotten. Then his scanner flashed a warning. A deeper pulse, a stronger reading, like something sleeping beneath him had taken a breath. Jalen swallowed. So this is why the others came here. He found a crack in the ground, a narrow opening leading into darkness. It looked like a natural cave, but the edges were too smooth, almost shaped. He pointed his flashlight inside and saw steps. Not human steps, but steps built by someone long ago. This was no ordinary planet. He climbed down carefully. The air inside the cave felt warmer. The hum grew stronger. The steps led to the tunnel, and the tunnel walls were covered with strange symbols that glowed faintly when he walked past. Jalen reached out and touched one. It felt like warm stone. A chill ran down his spine. You're not just a planet. You're something else. Deeper in the tunnel, he found a metal panel half buried in dust. He brushed it off and saw a list of names of the previous owners. All their names glowed when he touched the panel. At the bottom was a faint message written in a language he didn't know, but his translator gave a simple result. Those who come for answers become part of the answer. Jalen stepped back. That doesn't sound good. The hum changed, growing louder like the planet had noticed him. The ground under his feet vibrated softly. Jalen didn't feel fear. He felt excitement. Every mystery had a solution. Every puzzle had a key. Maybe he had just found the doorway to something no one had understood before. He looked deeper into the tunnel. The darkness almost felt alive. "Well," he said softly, "I bought you. Now I have to understand you." And with slow, careful steps, Jalen walked forward into the unknown, unaware that the planet was already watching him, listening, and preparing to reveal why 20 owners before him never returned. Jalen moved deeper into the tunnel, his small flashlight shaking in his hand. The hum beneath the ground was no longer soft. It felt like something was calling to him. The symbols on the walls glowed brighter as he passed, as if the planet itself saw him and reacted to him. The air felt warm and heavy, like the inside of a giant sleeping creature. He whispered, "What are you hiding down here?" The tunnel widened into a large chamber. The ceiling glittered with crystal-like stones that reflected his light in 100 directions. In the center of the room lay a round platform, covered in dust and old, broken metal pieces. Some pieces looked like tools. Others looked like parts of machines. But the shapes were strange, curved and sharp, and too smooth to be made by human hands. Jalen knelt down and picked up a small metal shard. It was warm, even though the room was cold. He turned it in his hand and noticed tiny lines running through it, like veins. Not natural, not random, he murmured. The hum grew louder. It felt like a slow, steady heartbeat under the ground. Jalen stepped onto the platform. The dust swirled around his boots, and a low vibration shot through the floor. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the chamber. It was not a real voice, not a person, more like an echo, an imprint left in the air. Faint, broken, but it spoke in a language he could not understand. The translator in his suit flickered, trying to catch the sounds. Finally, it produced fragments of meaning. "Danger, do not awaken." Jalen blinked. "Awaken what?" The air shifted. The crystals on the ceiling dimmed. The hum changed into sharp pulses. Jalen felt a pressure in his chest, as if the planet wanted him to stop or wanted him to continue. He stepped off the platform and followed a narrow passage on the other side of the chamber. The deeper he went, the more he felt a strange pull, like the tunnel itself gently pushed him forward. The passage led him to another chamber, smaller than the first. In the middle stood a tall stone pillar with cracks running through it like lightning. The pillar glowed faintly blue. When Jalen moved closer, he saw that the cracks pulsed softly. Something was inside it, something alive. His heart thumped hard. "Okay, now I understand why this place is cheap." He put his hand on the pillar. The stone felt warm, too warm, and inside the stone he heard a faint scratching sound, like claws, like something trying to get out. Jalen pulled his hand back quickly. "So you're the reason the owners disappeared." He circled the pillar, trying to stay calm, trying to think. If something inside the pillar was alive, then maybe the planet wasn't dead at all. Maybe the entire world was some kind of giant shell hiding this thing. But what was it? An animal? A machine? A prisoner? He didn't know. He only knew one thing. The hum came from this pillar. It was a heartbeat. As he walked around the pillar, his foot hit something buried in the dust. He knelt down and brushed away the dirt. It was a small metal cube with glowing corners. He tapped it gently and it unfolded, revealing a hologram, a message recorded long ago. A pale alien appeared in the projection. Their eyes were wide with fear. "If you are watching this," the alien said in a shaking voice, "you must leave. We try to control it. We try to contain it. But nothing can contain what sleeps in this world. We bought the planet to study it. We disappeared because we woke it." The hollow stuttered, then continued. "This planet is not a planet. It is a cocoon. What sleeps here will not sleep forever." The hologram vanished. Jalen took a slow breath. A cocoon, not a world. A cocoon for what? Before he could think further, the ground shook, not a soft vibration, a real shake. Dust fell from the ceiling. The crystals flickered. The pillar pulsed faster. The scratches inside grew louder. Whatever was inside was waking up. Jalen backed away, but the tunnel behind him rumbled and sealed shut. The way out collapsed, blocking the path with heavy stones. He was trapped. The pillar cracked loudly. Blue light leaked out like liquid fire. A sharp sound filled the room, like someone whispering right inside his ears. A voice. A real voice this time. "You came back." Jalen froze. "Came back? I've never been here." The voice echoed again. "You owner number 21. He felt cold. The planet knew him. It knew the others. It remembered every owner. He swallowed hard. "What do you want?" The pillar pulsed. "To finish what we started." The room shook again. Jalen ran toward the collapsed wall and tried to move the stones. They wouldn't budge. The air grew hotter. The pillar glowed brighter. Something inside was pushing harder and harder. Jalen pressed his forehead against the stones, breathing fast. "I shouldn't have bought you for 25 cents. But it was too late now. The planet had chosen him. The cocoon was opening, and whatever was inside had finally woken up. The echoes beneath the soil grew into a roar as the ancient soul inside the pillar prepared to break free. Jalen staggered backward as another loud crack split through the glowing pillar. Blue light burst from the fractures like sharp rays stabbing the dark chamber. The pressure in the air grew so strong that it felt hard to breathe. Dust floated up from the floor, pulled toward the pillar as if gravity was changing. Then silence. A heavy, deep silence that made Jalen's heartbeat sound too loud in his own ears. Slowly, the light calmed. The glowing cracks stopped spreading, and the thing inside the pillar stopped moving. Jalen held his breath. Did it fall asleep again? A soft hum began to rise, not from the pillar this time, but from behind him. He spun around. Blue shapes shimmered into existence, like ghostly outlines slowly forming into real figures. The air rippled as if the chamber itself was bending. One by one, the shapes became solid, tall, then aliens with frightened eyes and dusty clothes. Jalen's mouth fell open. He recognized them. They were the previous owners. All of them. They stood in a circle around him, confused and blinking at the light, as if they had just woken from a long dream. Some looked older than their last known record. Others looked exactly the same as the day they disappeared. One alien touched its own face and whispered, we back?" Jalen took a step closer. "You're alive." An older alien with silver marks along his neck stared at him. "Alive, yes. Free, we do not know." His voice shook. "How long has it been?" Jalen swallowed. "I don't know how long each of you has been gone, but the last owner before me vanished 4 years ago." A murmur passed through the group. Some alien owners looked shocked. Some started trembling. The older alien asked, "And you? How long have you been here, human?" "About an hour," Jalen said. The aliens exchanged sad and knowing looks. That answer told them everything. The silver-marked alien stepped forward and pointed at the pillar. "It trapped us, all of us. When we touched it, we vanished. Our bodies stayed somewhere between life and death, between the walls of this world." A young alien woman added softly, "The planet used us to feed the creature inside, or maybe to calm it. We don't know. We were stuck in the echo of its dreams." Jalen shivered. "Dreams?" "Yes," she whispered. "The creature dreams in this place. And when it dreams, time breaks." Another alien pointed at the glowing cracks. "It has woken more fully because you touched the pillar. You are the last piece it needed." Jalen blinked hard. "Wait, why me?" They looked at him with a strange mix of fear and wonder. "Because you did not come for power," the silver-marked alien said. "You did not come for treasure or research. You came because the price was low, because you were curious. That makes you different." His breath caught. "Different enough to wake it?" "No," the alien said softly. "Different enough that it wants you to finish its awakening." Jalen took a slow step backward. "I didn't sign up for that." Before anyone could say more, the hum changed. It grew deeper, heavier, vibrating through every stone in the room. The pillar pulsed like a heartbeat in panic. The scratches inside started again, fast, wild, desperate. The missing owners gasped. Some clutched their heads. Some fell to their knees. The young alien woman whispered, "The creature remembers us. It thinks we still belong to it. A low voice filled the chamber. Returned, returned, all returned. The walls glowed with faint blue lines, like veins running through the entire planet. The sound was everywhere, inside every stone and every heartbeat. Jalen pressed his back against the wall. What does it want now? The silver-marked alien whispered. To finish its transformation, it needs one thing. A guide. Someone to wake it the right way. And it chose me? The alien nodded slowly. Because you're not afraid of broken things. Jalen almost laughed, but his voice cracked. I'm very afraid right now. The pillar cracked again, this time from top to bottom. Blue fire spilled out like smoke. The missing owners stepped back quickly, forming a protective half-circle behind Jalen. Their faces were pale. Their hands shook. The young woman whispered, If it wakes wrong, the planet will collapse, and we will vanish again. Maybe forever this time. The silver-marked alien added, But if you calm it, if you speak to it, maybe it will finish its cycle and leave this world in peace. Jalen stared at the pillar. Speak to it? How? I don't even know what it is. A deep, slow breath rose from the pillar. It wasn't the sound of air. It was the sound of a giant creature slowly opening its eyes after 100,000 years. Jalen felt the air shift, felt something vast and old notice him, felt the way of a gaze he could not see. He whispered, Okay, you want me? I'm here. The aliens behind him held their breath. The pillar pulsed once. Then again. Then the voice came back, clearer than ever before. Guide me. Jalen lowered his trembling hand toward the glowing stone. The missing owners watched with fear and hope blending into one. As his fingers touched the warm surface, the pillar glowed brighter. So bright the entire chamber turned white, and the ancient soul inside reached out to him. For the first time in forever, the creature was not waking alone. The ground under Alex felt warm as he stood at the center of the strange metal circle he had uncovered. The energy humming through the soil grew stronger every day, and he began to understand that the planet was not just unusual. It was aware. He could feel the air shift when he spoke, almost like the wind listened. He could feel the vibrations in the ground, like a heartbeat waiting to be noticed. By now, he was sure the planet was trying to talk to him. Alex walked toward the old mining shaft he had first explored. Inside, the walls glowed faintly, with thin lines of light spreading like veins. When he touched the surface, the glow brightened. It responded to him, and only him. He whispered a simple greeting, not sure if it meant anything. The ground trembled softly, almost like a shy reply. He started leaving recording devices around the site, hoping to understand the strange sounds rising from underground. But the planet did not speak through words. It used pulses, heat, and soft tremors. He realized it was communicating like a living organism, not a machine. The dead planet was not dead at all. It was sleeping, or maybe recovering. One evening, as he prepared his campfire, a group of lights appeared in the dark sky. They moved too smoothly to be meteors. They grew brighter as they descended, and Alex felt a sudden heavy pressure in the air. He grabbed his scanner, but it shut down instantly. The lights landed around him, forming a ring. They were not ships. They were shapes, shimmering, shifting, almost like illusions made solid. Then the voices came, not from the beings, but inside his mind. They spoke as one, calm and heavy. Human, you have entered a mind not your own. Alex froze. He knew instantly these were the missing owners, the ones who vanished, or at least what remained of them. Their forms flickered like memories that refused to fade. One stepped forward, or seemed to. We tried to control the planet. We failed. It does not accept rulers. It absorbs them. Alex swallowed. Absorbs? You mean kills? No, the voice said. Absorbs? It keeps the minds of those who touch its core. We became part of thought. Alex backed up. The planet's tremors pulsed beneath his feet, like a warning, but not a hostile one. The beings shifted, their forms stretching like smoke and wind. We are not here to harm you, they continued. You have touched the planet without fear. You have listened. That is why it has not taken you. Alex felt the ground warm under him, like a gentle hand. "What does it want?" he asked. The being seemed to dim, as if their energy drained with every moment they stayed. "It wants a partner," they answered. "Not a master, not a user. Someone to help it heal. Someone to help it grow. Someone who does not seek to exploit." Alex looked around at the silent land. No plants, no animals, only dust, stone, and buried metal veins. "Why me?" he asked softly. The voices spoke together again. "Because you paid for it with almost nothing." Only someone who saw value in emptiness could hear it. Someone who did not buy it for power. Someone who could be gentle. Alex felt a strange mix of fear and responsibility. He had bought the planet as a joke, a strange souvenir. But now it felt like he had been chosen for something he never expected. The beings flickered again. Their shapes faded, like candlelight in wind. "We cannot stay," they whispered. "We are thoughts now, not bodies. The planet will soon speak more clearly to you. Do not fear it. Help it and protect it." Alex reached out, but the shapes dissolved completely. The night went silent. The ground under him softened like warm sand. A deep hum rose through the soil. It was not random. It was a pattern, a rhythm. A voice reached him, not external, not threatening, but deep and old. "Humans stay." Alex's breath caught. The planet was awake. He stood in the center of the glowing circle as the lines beneath him brightened, spreading outward like roots searching for connection. It was no longer a dead world. It was alive, thinking and reaching out to him. For the first time, Alex understood the truth. The missing owners had never disappeared. They had become part of something larger, a world with a mind, a planet with a voice. And now, it wanted him to be the next part of its future. Alex closed his eyes, took a slow breath, and listened. The hum grew steady and calm, almost like the planet was waiting for his answer. He whispered softly, "I'm here." The ground glowed brighter. The planet responded. Alex stood at the center of the glowing circle as the soft hum of the planet wrapped around him. The air felt warmer than before, almost like the world itself was breathing with him. He knew the planet trusted him now. It listened to him. It waited for him. And in that moment, Alex understood something very simple and very heavy. He was the only one who could help it. He was the only one it had not absorbed. He was the only one it chose. When morning came, the ground under him made a slow, gentle tremble. The voice of the planet returned, not loud, not frightening, but steady, like an ancient whisper. "Help me wake." Alex looked around at the silent land. Everything was dry and still, as if life had been locked away for thousands of years. Somehow, the planet was alive inside, but trapped on the outside. Something had forced it into sleep long ago, and every owner who tried to use it had been pulled into its mind before they could understand. Alex grabbed his tools, even though he knew they could not fix a planet. Still, he needed to feel like he was doing something. He started exploring again, checking the tunnels, studying the glowing patterns, listening to every hum and vibration. The planet guided him, showing him warm paths and gently pushing him away from dangerous ones. After hours of walking, he found a deep pit hidden under a broken metal platform. The air around it felt heavy, like an old wound. The light inside was dim and pulsing slowly. Alex touched the edge, and a shiver ran through him. He felt sadness, not his own, but the planet's. "This is where they hurt me," the voice said. Alex knelt beside the pit. He understood now. Long ago, someone must have tried to connect machines or energy drills to the planet's core. They had forced their way inside, trying to control the world's mind. When the planet fought back, those owners were absorbed. But the wound stayed, and the planet became quiet and weak. "Can I fix it?" Alex asked. The answer came softly. "You can free me." Alex realized what it meant. The planet wanted him to open the core, not for control, but for healing. If he allowed the trapped energy to flow naturally again, the planet could repair itself. It would mean releasing the mind stuck inside, too. It would mean letting the missing owners move on. Alex took a deep breath and climbed down the pit. The air felt warm and thick, moving around him like invisible water. He reached the glowing center. It looked like a cracked sphere, pulsing faintly. He placed both hands on it. The moment he touched it, bright light rushed through his body. His vision blurred. The ground shook. He heard voices, hundreds of voices, whispering, crying, laughing, thanking him. They had waited for so long. He felt them sliding past him like wind. They were being released. Then everything went silent. The cracked sphere vanished, melting into soft light that spread through the tunnel walls. The glow ran upward, climbing through the rocks, racing across the land. Alex climbed out just in time to see something incredible. The planet woke. Bright lines shot across the surface like lightning spreading in slow motion. The air vibrated. Dust lifted from the ground. Winds formed and twisted. In the distance, old mountains shifted as if stretching after a long sleep. For the first time, the world felt truly alive. Alex stood still, watching in awe. The planet spoke again. Stronger this time, peaceful and full of gratitude. "You freed me." Alex smiled, feeling small but proud. "What happens now?" A soft breeze circled him like an embrace. "Now I grow again. Now I heal. And you may stay." Alex looked around. A world that had once been empty and silent was now glowing with energy. Soon, plants would return. Air would change. Atmosphere would rebuild. Life would rise again. He felt honored, maybe even lucky, to witness the beginning of something new. But then the planet added something he did not expect. "You are not trapped here. You are not absorbed. You may come and go. I will not hold you like the others." Alex understood. The planet was giving him a choice. Leave or stay to help guide its rebirth. He looked at the brightening horizon. He thought about the strange journey he had taken, starting with a joke purchase for 25 cents. Now he stood on a living world that trusted him more than anyone. He chose to stay, not because he was trapped, not because he owed the planet anything, but because he wanted to see what this world could become with freedom and time. Alex placed his hand on the warm soil. "We'll do this together." The ground glowed softly under his touch. A new future began, one shaped by a human who did the simplest, bravest thing of all. He listened. He cared. He freed a world.